video with you, and I'm so obsessed with these that I ran out, obviously, as you saw, and I wanted to do a full series of everyday life type of thing. And so I made 3 other sheets that are not exactly the same, because obviously I can never make exactly the same, but they're very similar and they use the same colors and the same type of techniques and things. So that's what we're doing today, and it's using your stash and doing that. The one thing is, though, I'm only going to be doing 4 because that's as many as I've got, and I'm not going to be putting the timer. So I'm going to be using whatever I do, and I forgot to trim this, so you're going to have to forgive me while I trim this little bit of excess paper here, because obviously they won't do. That's what I've done with the other ones, and I believe that should be enough for 3. And then I'll have some leftover paper, because I'm totally obsessed, like I said, with this design. I don't know what it is. I really love it. I love it so much that I've scanned it. Oh, see, I forgot. I didn't cut it in ahead of time. Oh well. So I'm so obsessed with it that I scanned it and I've used it as a background to something I've done recently. So let's get this going and see where it takes us. And hopefully I'll finish the series of those 4 postcards, and then I'll have it out of my system and I won't need to do any more. Some people ask, what is the size of this? Most of them are 4 by 6, but I have to admit that because I want to use up as much of my cereal box covers, if I have a tiny bit less than the 4-inch, I still use it. They're always 6 inches this way, but they're not always fully 4 inches across, but close enough. I mean, really close enough. We're talking a few, because here you can tell that there's some, see, this one is slightly shorter, but we're talking maybe a 1/4 of an inch, and I'm not even sure it's a 1/4 of an inch. So very tiny difference. And it makes, like I said, I just want to use up as much of my cardstock, and it doesn't make much difference because the postcard stamp, as you can see, stamps perfectly on there. And somebody asked last week, not last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, yeah, there will have been a Christmas video, so maybe 3 weeks ago, somebody asked where I got this stamp, and I believe I got it on Amazon. And if I did, by now I will have linked in my Amazon. You can click on my description box, and I have the link of all my favorites in Amazon, and you can click on those and purchase them if you're interested. There is a slight kickback that comes back from me, but it doesn't change the price for you. It just gives me a little bit of extras for the fact that I'm telling you about it. But like I said, it doesn't change any of the pricing to you guys. So just so you know, it just helps me a bit. And when I say a bit, I mean really a bit, guys. So yeah, I'm not getting rich out of this. But that's okay, because that's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I love it. So I fell in love with these images, and actually all 4 of those would be perfect. There's more. Yeah. So we'll have to do the more on another time, I think, because I've got a feeling that these 4 will be plenty. And So I'll just cut off the images. I don't want to put this sentiment, but I do want this one. This one is really cool. Everybody helps on the farm. The one that does the and of course I cut it off wrong, but that's okay. Can still figure it out. The one that does the mail is not getting that comment. Probably going to be using it up for one of the ones that we saw using the cows, doing the work for the cows. So just trying to trim all those images. So if you're new to this and you didn't see the previous video, these come from an encyclopedia that dates back from 1955. I think it is. I'm having the I have the attention of my kids sometimes, but I have to admit that this is being done on a different day. So I think it's 1955, and it's an encyclopedia that got damaged, but there's some pretty cool images, and I love these images, and I thought those would make amazing postcards. And this could be really, really cool. So let's use that here. Farm life, I think, could be very, very cool. Especially, like, I'm thinking about everybody else on the farm, and this as being farm life, or maybe the opposite. I think it's just super fun. And obviously it's the old paper, so it's even better. Okay, this I'm going to cut with my scissors, because there's a limit to how good I am at doing this. Okay, so we've got the farm life. We've got the everybody helps on the farm. And then, yeeps, I made something fall. Oh well. I've got the extras. Oh, it's my ink gun. So I've got the extra little papers that I've used last time around. And so let's get this going. I've got the Black Sooth Distress ink, which is what I've used. And we'll just see. I'm thinking I want to use this way, and this probably this way. And I don't like straight edges. I just really don't. So I need to somewhat distress them. Just looks better in my head. But like I said, it could be just in my head. I just like this better. This looked better. Yeah. And there's just a tiny strip here of white that's bothering me. So I like that. And then I'm thinking maybe this one should be Farm Life. That'd be very cute, I think. Okay, so that's what's gonna go on. And I didn't check if you guys could see, so I'm hoping that all through this you guys could see, because otherwise I'm quite disappointed with myself. But that does happen. Okay, now my husband just walked in, so that's why you're hearing the dogs. At least I believe it's my husband. Could be my daughter as well. She's working tonight. Okay, so I'm gonna edge this, and I think that one I'm gonna put on the yellow piece of cardstock, just because it looked good on there. And see, it would be perfect on this little piece here. Maybe not. Maybe it's a tiny bit too big. And I want to use up as much of my paper. See, now it fits. Woohoo! And I'm not wasting anything. Okay. I love not wasting. If you're new to my channel, I'm really... Oh boy. Okay, what's going on with this? Why isn't it sticking? Works fine. Sometimes it does have issues sticking with some of the paper. I don't understand why, but it just does. And I like putting this and then putting the glue stick because because this could be mailed out. I really want to make sure that none of the little bits and pieces of paper will be able to just get caught in something. So that's why I do this. In case you're wondering, for those of you that wonder what tape I use, you can find all of that in the description box below. And no, I'm not getting any kickbacks from that company. I'm just sharing with you guys that they have great pricing, and it's just great because of the fact that it's so very expensive to do to purchase stuff. So yeah. So if you can get it for cheaper, I'm all into this. But I'm not getting anything out of this. Just in case you're wondering. I'm hoping that one day, that's my big dream, that one day this crafting here could pay for itself. That, I don't know, I could pay for the supplies. I never expect that I will be able to pay for my salary, but if I could pay for the supplies that I use, that would be amazing. So that's my big goal. Eventually, when I retire, I know that I won't be making the salary that I'm making right now, and it's going to be harder to buy the new supplies and stuff. So hopefully one day this could be something, you know, that would pay itself. So I need to just edge this afterwards. And if you're hearing my kids argue in the background, well, that's what they do. I know that most of you don't mind and keep telling me that one day I'll regret that they've left. I don't know if I should tell you, but I'm looking forward to the day that I regret that they left sometimes, because oh my god, it can get very noisy. But I'm sure that you're right and that I will totally miss them being what they are. Just kids and sometimes very obnoxious. Something is missing on this side, I'm thinking. So, I don't know. Just an extra little doodle. I don't know where it came from, but I don't know. Something was missing in my head. So we've got the first one done. Next one. Okay, so we've got the next paper. And I discovered the last time around that it was easier to put the cardstock first. Not the cardstock, the cardboard first, and then put it on top of the paper. Like I said, I'm trying to go all the way to the edges. And and hopefully my head is not in front of the camera. Okay, so we got it down, and now it's a question of cutting it across. I'm so excited, guys, to be using this, because this paper here was glossy, and I have no clue when I'm hearing this if you've seen the video or not. My videos are not necessarily in order. I film them as I do them, and then it gets on YouTube when it fits, basically, because I do all the cards on the Mondays, and then if I have a Happy Mail, it's on the Wednesdays, and if I have anything that I've purchased or received, it's on the Saturday. So, and on the Friday I do the positivity deck, so it only leaves a few days. So you might have seen how I use my calendar pages to do this. Otherwise, if you haven't seen it yet, it's coming soon. So this one here, I'm thinking Everybody Helps on the Farm would be perfect with this. It's just like the perfect thing. Got this cute little girl. She's just so adorable. I'm hoping you can see it. She's just so adorable, and she's holding out this little kitty. And yeah, when you're small and you're working on a farm, there's often little kitties that are there to catch the mice and whatever. And that's how I found out that I was allergic to cats. And yes, I do have cats. You're not wrong, and you're not mistaken in thinking I've got cats. I have cats. I've done the shots to get used to them, and it got a lot better. And then I figured that if the shots worked, well, having a little baby cat would be the same thing, right? And it kind of is, except that now I have 4, so obviously that can be a problem. But at the same time, I just love my fur kitties and my fur babies, and they're just a big part of my life, and I've always loved them. So back to my story. When I was a little kid, I had cats in my house. Well, not in my house, but we had cats in the section close to the house. It wasn't officially the house, but it was a closed area where they could come and be, and we would feed them. And I used to play with them, and I loved them, and it was always good. And then eventually we stopped having them, and but I still love cats, as most kids do. And so one day we went to some friend's house, and they had some kitties, and like baby kittens, and I just had to play with them. Now I started getting an allergic reaction, but obviously, like, I'm a little kid, so I have no clue what allergies are, and I've never had allergies because we used to have kittens. So my mom had said some way back that when you have some sort of something in your eye, in French it's called orgelet. So when you have that you should rub your hair in your eye, like close to your eye, and that will remove it. Now, I couldn't rub my own hair, so I figured, well, a kitten has fur. Fur is hair, so 1 + 1 = 2. Well, yeah, not quite. So that was quite a disaster, because obviously, as you can imagine, because it was an allergic reaction, my eyes swelled up, shut. It was bad. It was so painful. And that's how I discovered that I was allergic to cats. And I was so upset. So upset, because I love cats. I just love how graceful they are. They're very independent. I love dogs, but I love the independence of cats. I just do. I always have, and I probably always will. They're just, yeah. I mean, no one owns a cat. They own you. Yeah. It's just something about them. And my little Leo, who's the one that went behind the behind the dryer, he just has my heart, this little guy. He will just, yeah, he's a special little guy. They all do, but Leo just knows how to get to my heart even more than the others. My oldest son's cat, Simba, which is the only female, she's all into him. Doesn't like us at all. Hendrix loves everybody, but he will just sit on my stuff, which doesn't get me to like it so much. But then Leo will just come and rub himself and be close, but without too much hindrance. And then you've got baby Sam, which is the youngest one, who is just a scaredy cat right now. Scared of everything. Poor little baby boy. And because he's scared, it's even worse, because now the dogs are after him. And yeah. But he's fairly young. He's not one yet, so he's gonna get used to life around. And took a while for Leo to get used to it too, because he was, all our cats we rescued, and so Leo was actually almost a year when we rescued him, compared to Sam, who was a kitten, and so was Simba. Hendrix was actually 2 when we rescued him, and so Leo. And the thing which makes Leo a bit special for me is I got him when I had to put down my dog. He was at the vet at the same time, and my daughter had said how she loved him. And when I went to get my dog put down, it was not a good place for me at all. Like, I won't go into the details of it, but it was definitely not a good place. And so having lost her was really, really hard. And so I asked the vet to see Leo, and she showed him to me, and he was just the cutest little thing. And he had jumped next to the window for the very first time when we walked in the door, because he'd been left as a kitten at the vet, and he was almost 1, and nobody had picked him up. And so I just had to get him, and he's been my baby ever since. And it's been 3 years now. But he's got white fur, and now I've got white fur everywhere. So yeah, a lot about me. If you don't want to hear my stories, you can mute me, you can fast forward me. I don't mind, guys. I know that not everybody wants to hear everybody's story, and that's all good too. I was just nostalgic, I guess. So here is the second one. I really love that. As you now know, that has a meaning to me. Big story. Okay, so get to the next one. So the next one I think I'm going to do is the little post guy. And that brings another story, guys. Yeah, feel free to go skip, whatever, mute me, all good. When I was a little kid, we were in the country, so very similar to this, except that we didn't have a fence like that. So we had to cross over the street to get to the mailbox and go and get the mail. Now, our front neighbors had, and we're talking like, we're really in the middle of the boonies, so there's not a lot of neighbors, but we happen to have some neighbors right in front of us. And they had a pig farm, and you can imagine the smell that goes with it. So I won't go into those details, but they had a collie. And so I used to go and get the mail. And, you know, you think collies, you think Lassie. Well, that dog was not Lassie. Let me tell you. Every time I would turn my back on it, it would come forward, and as soon as I would turn back, it'd be back where it would sit down and not move. Like it hadn't moved at all. I was scared shitless of this thing. And I had big dogs. I had German Shepherds, and my German Shepherds, I never was scared of them. But this one, I was really scared of him because he wouldn't come forth. He would just wait until I turned my back on him to come forth. So you can imagine that was not the nicest scenarios. And we had it was one of those streets. It's not a street, it's a road. Because it's in the middle of the country, and you have those big trucks full of lumber that go down it at, okay, in Canada it must have been about 80 kilometers. So now I have no idea what that would be in miles per hour, but it's pretty fast. And now you've got this little kid that's, you know, across the street and now needs to get back home and is scared of this dog that's gonna jump on her. So yeah, it was not the best of scenarios. So let's just say I didn't get the mail too often. I don't think the dog did that to my parents, only to me. I don't know what it was. Probably could smell that I was fearful. I don't know if it would have bitten me. I never got close enough to let it happen. I was way too scared, and you know, I would hear the trucks if there was a truck coming or not, and I would look at the dog until I couldn't hear the truck anymore, and I would run across the street. The good old days, I guess. Maybe not. Let's just say that one. So that's why I've never had one of those dogs. My husband loved them because he thought they were so pretty, and they are. And you know, when I saw Lassie looked like it was a wonderful dog, but that one, oh my God, was not. So that took Lassie away from my possibility of dogs for life. Yeah. Okay, so we've got this beautiful little boy that's getting the mail, and what can we do with this? I like that today is full of possibilities because you don't know what you're getting into the mail. Yeah, that's the one I'm getting. So life is full of possibilities. Yeeps! Oh my God, that thing is is alive. Hi, so today is full of possibilities. Now, just don't want it to stick to anything until I've actually stuck it down to the paper it's going to. and I need to do the edges that I just cut. Okay, this is not going to be perfect, but nothing that I do is ever totally perfect. It's going to have some sort of yellow on it, but not all that much. But I don't want to waste. That's the thing, I don't want to waste. And I'm sure that many of you understand that concept. Somebody also commented that on a recent video that they were surprised that you could put so many layers on a postcard, and you totally can, so long as it's flat. There's no issues. Obviously you don't want it to weigh a ton, but paper like this won't be a problem. You just have to make sure that it's not going to lift up. So like this here would possibly lift up and be an issue, so you have to really make sure that everything is sticking down properly. If everything is sticking down, your postcard is going to make it no problem. Like I've mentioned in many videos before, I've sent out many postcards, never had any issues, so won't be a problem. Okay, so got that one done, set all around. You only need one more, and I have no clue how long this video is because I didn't tape it. I didn't put my timer. Obviously I'm taping it, but I didn't put my timer on it. So I'll see when I edit this video how long it actually was, and I'm hoping that you guys lasted through the whole thing. So here is the little card. So that's the third one, and we've got one more to do, and let's get this going. I love those vintage photos, retro type of things. I really love them, and I'm super excited that I thought of using that encyclopedia for this. Like, very excited about it because the images are perfect. Not all of them obviously, but a lot of them are. And whatever is not, I can use as a background to something, so it's all good. Okay, so one more on this. So the good thing is I've got 2 more pages of this paper that are ready to go for something else. It can be used to make covers and cards and journaling pages and borders and flowers. Basically, whatever your little art desires. So it's really fun to make those painty papers. Make a bunch, and then you have a bunch to use up next time around that you want to craft. Alright. Last little image. The mother and the daughter cooking. Very typical. So something like this maybe with a sentiment. So let's find the sentiment. This is what family looks like. That's perfect for this. Okay, so that's the one. Because basically that is what family looks like. I mean, I know that I used to spend a lot of time, especially with my grandma. She was the one who showed me how to cook. Her and my stepmom, they really spent a lot of time showing me how to cook and stuff. So that's pretty much what family is like. And with my kids, I spend a lot of time cooking with them. And, you know, showing my daughter how to cook, or my sons. And just, it's not exciting family times, but it is the real life, and it's what they will have as memories, I guess, because I still remember making pies with my grandmother. And the way she made the pies is still the one that I use. How you made the little fold on the crust, that's the way I do it. So if I hadn't made pies with her, I would never know how to do it. At least not her way. Okay, so where is it? This is what family looks like. This is totally the sentiment that I'm putting on this. I'm putting the sentiments away so that my lap can be actually free. Woohoo! This is what so stick this on the corner. And we've only got 3 little pieces. This one was not really part of it, and neither was this one, so did quite good actually. Very excited with this, that I've used so much of this. I'm hoping that you guys are not so fed up of this series of postcards that you're not watching anymore. But like I said, you can make cards like this and just use this as the top of the card. It's up to you to do a postcard or to do a card with it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't make a difference. If this had a backing, it'd be a card. I just didn't feel like making cards anymore. At least for a little while. I need a break. But I have some pretty exciting ideas coming up. So I'm looking forward to showing these with you guys. And this little piece is going into the recycling bin. Woohoo! So I'm getting through my scraps slowly but surely, and not making too many more, which is good, because yeah, this can be a big problem. They tend to multiply. Whoops, I forgot to edge it. Might as well edge it before, so that I don't run into a problem. I just think it's so precious. So you've heard all kinds of stories from me today. Wasn't what I had anticipated. Oh, I forgot. I forgot a step. You guys were probably saying you forgot to edge. You forgot to edge. Doesn't look the same without the edging. I love the grungy look. I just do. Okay, so we're done. See, it looks so much better with the edging. So we've got that one, this one, this one, and that one. And I think they just look adorable. But that's my own take on it. So I'm looking forward to reading your comments and knowing if you think they're good or not, and if you're doing them or not. So please let me know. Bye everyone!